Hi everybody. Today we're going to continue on with this still life. We're starting with the value study that I shared earlier, and I'm going to try to work as quickly as I can. I won't be able to finish the piece on this video clip because I want to keep it on the shorter side. But what I want to start with is telling you that I'm working with a limited palette, which means just a few select colors. Basically, I'm sticking with the primary colors, although I have a warm and a cool yellow. There's a cadmium yellow and a lemon yellow. I've got a cadmium red and alizarin crimson. They're pretty different. The cadmium red's very opaque. The alizarin crimson is pretty transparent. And then my last color will be blue. I work with French ultramarine blue. And I haven't done this in a while, working with a limited palette. I tend to use a full palette of colors. But this is another great way to start with painting, just to explore color mixing and just the whole idea of color. So I think, and I have white, so how I think I'm going to start is with the darks, and again, I'm trying to work pretty quick. I'm going to try to make up a little, like a violet here. Let's see how that works with these two colors, the alizarin crimson and the ultramarine blue. This would end up being my darkest dark on this painting. So I'm going to spend some time mixing. Maybe I should have done that ahead of time for you guys. Usually I mix my colors before I start. That way I'm prepared. Right now I'm going to mix an orange for the some of the oranges. So I'm using the lemon yellow, which has an opaque quality, like I said, with the cadmium red. I may use some of this cadmium yellow, which already has sort of an orange cast to it. You know, I want to try to be careful with how much white I put in, because that really, once you start blending colors, it really dilutes the integrity of the color it can. So it's good to be very mindful of mixing. What else are we gonna need? I probably will need to go a little maybe darker in the reds for the darker parts of the oranges, maybe, unless I want it. Sometimes I'll use a violet, you know, to show the shadows, but I don't know that I'm going to do that right now. So I'm just going to start here with some of this kind of this violet hue, and I'm just going to go in here and get that in, and I didn't mix up enough. Come back in here, and I like to use the palette knife to mix so that I don't muddy up the colors on my palette, which I'm not doing right now just for the sake of time. I'm just going to throw this in here over the darkest dark. Very loosely, and I'm going to try to keep this loose for right now and come back with starting with a big brush. That tends to help me stay looser in my interpretation, which is usually beneficial at the end of the day. Come back in here with more of this kind of violet tone. Putting some of that in here. These are the shadows around the orange. And I'll go in here too. Actually, I think what I might do there, just to be a little creative, once you get more used to the values, I'm just going to keep this more of a blue. Just lightening it up a little bit. It's a little bit lighter. Shadow as dark as in the back, And violet happens to be a good color against, with orange. They're somewhat complementary colors. Purple and, it's really purple and yellow, but orange's complementary color is blue. So we've got blue with red mixed in here. Okay, so I'm going to change brushes. That's another thing that's I found is useful, is to have sometimes a brush that I'm going to use for the cool colors, which would be on the, for me, the right side of the palette, and another brush for the warmer hues, which are on the left side of the palette. So I'm going to just start in here with maybe this darker color for the shadow parts on the orange. And this is more of a red. That's just how I'm choosing to do this. Actually, what I see is sort of a green in there on these shadow parts. That's what I see, more of a green, which I could change this, but right now I'm just gonna go with this. Bring in more yellow, maybe more of the lemon yellow to catch this next kind of value in here on the orange. So you see a shift in the lights. And I'll work those in more together. So now we're going to the more lighter parts. I'm not trying to use a lot of white, like I said, right now. Just kind of staying with the color and letting that be enough. So I'll probably add some white in there. These values break down a little bit more. They're not so hard and fast, but that's where you can come back and kind of work those in, and I'll come back and get in on that the shadow. I'm hoping you're able to see okay here. Alright, so I'm going to throw in a little more. I'm going to go around here with this, maybe a little lighter. Another good thing that I did, which I didn't do this time, is to, more helpful thing, is to put two sections, two blobs of white out. I use one for the, tend to use one for the warmer colors, and then the other one, a separate one for the darker colors. That just helps when it comes to using the whites for me. Alright, so we're going to get in here. With these lighter oranges in here. And I'm kind of trying to mirror the way the orange actually is with the wedges. I'm going to come back with the this darker red back in here right now, just to get that dark value in, and it's pretty dark. It's a little lighter down here. We'll come back and get those more fine-tuning points. And just going to come back in here again on this back orange, sticking with the red as my darker dark. And I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, but that's what I've decided to work with today, so it's okay. Just an experiment of working it this way. Let's get that darker red down in here. This is really pretty intense dark. And I'll come back with some really brighter orange it is. And here, some brighter orange up here. Maybe a little more white. There's like pretty high contrast in there. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here for right now. This is what we've got so far. Still needs a lot of work, but just to get the ball rolling. So thank you, everybody. I hope you're enjoying. That's it for now.